Hey groomers, Tyler here out of Colorado. We're going to go over the Heiniger Opal clipper, the hinge, and the blade lever. So first thing you're going to need is a T10. It's the star bit. It's called a T10. Go to the hardware store and grab one because you need it to do this. Do not try to do it without this bit. You could ruin your clipper. I also like to have a flathead screwdriver and a little bit of Super Lube to lubricate the bearing on the clipper. So first we got to take off the blade by pushing up the hinge, pull off the blade, set it aside. Next we're going to take out the battery, set that aside. Now you'll see 5 screws. There'll be 2, 4, and then 5. So use your T10 bit. And if you need to service your hinge, or if you have the old style hinge that goes up and around your blade lever, you also have to remove these 2 screws with the T10. You'll have in a pile 1 small screw, 2, 4, 6 long screws. Those are the housing and hinge screws. Keep them safe, don't let them roll anywhere. I always close the hinge and then it'll pop right off. Let's just go over this hinge real quick. If you get the hinge, if you bought a brand new hinge from somebody, it probably looks like this. So the first thing we have to do is these little triangles here, right at the tip of my finger, the spring has to go up and over that. So let me do that for you real quick so you can see. So this is the way you want it to look on this side, like that. This is not right. If you just put your lock on and go to close it, the hinge will break instantly. So do that on both sides. Flip it up and around that triangle. Sometimes it can be a little tricky, but there you go. That's what we're looking for. Then you just take your hinge lock with the 2 holes and put the springs through those 2 holes and push the lock up over the hinge. So now your hinge is set, ready to be put back on the clipper. Next, we're going to open up the clipper to take a look at the blade drive. I peel it up from the back and it opens up easily like that. So remove the rubber seal. And then this is where I like the flathead, because in here, it's kind of hard to pull this up sometimes. So I just like to get a little flathead and get it going for me, and then I can pull it up easily. Remove the foam seal. And next you're going to want to take your grease and put some in this hole. That. Put some on the sides. And you're good to go. Normally you would be putting a brand new blade drive in. As you see, I just put the grease on the greasy one. That's because this is a brand new clipper. It really didn't need any service, but I just wanted to make you folks a video. So now that's all greased up, slide the foam seal back over the tip of the lever and make sure it goes in the right slot. There's 2 of them. There's the one in the back and the one in the front. The foam goes in the back one. So I'll just slide that on. Make sure everything's seating properly. The foam's in the right slot. And next we will put the rubber gasket back on over those 2 posts. And then you're good to go to reassemble everything. Before I screw everything back together, I always like to just put it together without screws, squeeze it, and make sure it's nice and quiet and it runs. Both speeds are working great. Motor's feeling strong, passes my test. So now we're just going to reassemble all the screws. Now the hinge can be a little tricky on these clippers because you want to make sure the springs stay in those holes and nothing shifts. You don't want those springs falling below the triangles. So set it in there. You'll feel it. It should sit in there real nice. And then grab your screws and screw it back in. Make sure the hinge lock works. There's no resistance besides the spring. And if it just stays up like that, your hinge is broken. If it's hard to push up and down, that's not good. You want to make sure it's snug but smooth feeling. And then last, you want to take your flathead screwdriver again. Do not use your scissors. Push up on the button and you can pop your hinge back out. And then the final test is to make sure everything sounds good with the blade on it. Nice and quiet, purring like a cat. I hope this helps some of you. If you have any questions, shoot me a message and I will gladly help you out. Let's just... Whoa. These clippers are great, by the way. Highly recommend. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.